Aren't you tired of being stuck at home and taking the same photos of boring objects over and over again? Because I am. I will show you how you can still do some pretty decent street photography, even from home. Enjoy! All you have to do is travel to Los Santos, your hometown. Only take one roll of film, because street photography is about moments and not spamming around your camera. Get your vehicle, in this case I got my moto from my garage. In this golden hour I decided to take a ride through the beach, and then on this hillside I noticed some gang members, and with this wall I decided to take a photograph, but I eventually didn't. I got up close and took this photograph. I like this photo because of the yellow headbands, the tattoos, the expression on their faces, and that they were still talking to me. Then I continued my journey towards Glen Park, and I noticed this lady walking on the sidewalk all alone, so I jumped onto this car and tried to take a shot of her. The car started moving, so I had to take my chances, and this is the photo I took. I like the green color tones, and really she's the only one on the streets all alone. Then, not too far away, I saw this chili dogs salesman in these late hours and decided to take a photo, but it was a busy composition, so I got up a little closer, and with these trash cans it's really a good photo. I really like the composition, the lines leading towards him, and the colors. It seems like that around 2 AM in the morning in the commerce area the moon is unusually large, so why not take a photo? It just makes sense. So I stood up on my motorcycle and zoomed in on the building and the moon behind it and tried to compose the picture, and this is the shot I got. As I was driving around the city, some ballas tried to shoot me because I'm from Grove Street, and I took the opportunity and took a photo of them, but I had to wait for the perfect moment when he was actually firing his SMG to catch some muzzle flash. So this is the photo I took, and I'm really pleased with it. The the purple clothes and the colors on the building really match. I think it's a really nice, pleasing picture. I continued my journey towards Grove Street, my home, and I did a nose wheelie here, but I not failed it, but it was interesting. Of course, some ballas tried to shoot me again. As I was standing on this perennial, the slowest car in Los Santos, this police bike passed us, and I took the opportunity and took this picture. I really like the perspective from the top of the car, and I like the position of the police. He is in the middle of the frame, and the position of the lampposts and the pizza parlor in the background. I tried to take a photo of a man looking in the window of a shop, but he walked away, so I couldn't. Then I went to Clock and Bell because I got hungry, and as I entered the restaurant I noticed how dirty and filthy it was, so I had to take a photo as no one was near, and I took this shot. Then I walked up to the counter and noticed the expression on his face, and I took a portrait of him. I like this shot because of everything, you know, the expression on his face really tells everything. The foam in the background, the flying around, in the back, so I think it's a really nice environmental portrait.
Cluckety fuck. Place your order. Don't choke on the bone fragments.
Going to another gang's territory is always risky, but I took my chances at around 10 AM. But some Vegas people tried to shoot me, so I decided to surrender.
You wrecked my shit.
Then I realized that this could make a good photo after all, and when I backed up, I got out of my car and zoomed in on them as they were running towards me. As they lined up, I composed my shot, and this was the photo. I like the simplicity of this photograph. I like how the first guy turns around and tells them about something, and I like the yellow headbands again, matching with the street lines. As I was getting away from the gang, I drove to the beach and noticed this friendly neighborhood drug dealer standing on the beach all alone. No one came up to him, so I stood on my car and waited for the perfect moment. I waited patiently and took this photo. I like this picture because of the wide angle and the simplicity again. Only the ocean, the hardwood floor, and him standing in a perfectly still position looking for customers. I laid my hands on a new Remington and decided to pimp the shit out of it, so I took it to a car tuning shop, and this was the result. I decided to take a photo of it immediately while it was still new and shiny, so I parked in the front and lined up to take the picture. You sometimes have to reorganize the environment to get to the perfect angle and get the perfect shot. What I like about this picture is the composition, the dead-end street, and the graphics in the background, and you know, the empty street, only my new shiny car in the front. As I started my journey again in the storm drain, I immediately noticed this abandoned, burnt out car and took a zoomed in photo of it. Then I just turned a little and there was my new car. So I took this photo. I don't think it's a great photo, but you know, it's new car day. As I was getting close to this tunnel, I immediately noticed these red lights, which I really liked. So I parked my car in the center and lined up. It took a little while to line up perfectly, but I think the result is worth it. This is one of my favorite photos of this series. The red shadows, the red lights, all the colors. I think it really matches up, and I like the symmetrical composition, and I just like the picture in general. As the weather was getting worse, I drove to the beach, which was naturally deserted, and I decided to take a photo of these flags as the fog was already coming in. Then I decided to visit my girlfriend Denise, and it turned out to be a pretty interesting date. So first she said she wanted to go have dinner, then immediately she wanted to do a drive-by. But I ignored her and took it to 10 Green Bottles, where we had a good night. And then she wanted to go home, but some ballas started shooting at us, and she bailed out of the car, and I didn't notice, so I just kept driving because I thought she was in the car, and then I got the info that my girlfriend was abandoned, so the date was over. Not gonna lie, I was pretty angry at this, so I went to the tattoo parlor and decided to get a tattoo, but when I entered, I decided to take a photo instead of the tattoo artist. I loved how he was surrounded with his earlier works and that he was proud to show them to me. As I was wandering around the shop, I noticed myself in the mirror and decided to take a selfie instead of another angle of the tattoo artist, so I took this photo. I think there is no point explaining this photograph. I think it's a great selfie. I like how I hold the camera, I like my expression on my face, so I think I did good. It was raining cats and dogs in El Corona, and I noticed these gang members at 3 AM in the morning, and I walked up to them and took this photo. I especially liked the hand gesture and the matching outfits, but the raindrop on the shirt is very nice as well. Also, note the sunglasses at 3 AM in the morning during heavy rainstorm. As the weather was clearing out, I was driving through the hills of Los Santos and noticed this guy just arriving home from work, I guess. So I took this photo of him and I liked the green tones and the expression on his face. As the sun started to rise, I went to the top of the hill and decided not to take another basic car photo, so I took another basic sunrise photo, which was this. As I was wandering around near downtown, I saw these two guys running and decided to take a photo of them, so I joined the jogging club and took this photo. I think it turned out pretty well. I like the movement, the dynamics and the simple lines. I wanted to take another shot, but I couldn't quite get the perfect angle, so I started chasing them, but the police officer seemingly got tired and stopped chasing the suspect, so there was my shot. I was awake for like 3 days in a row constantly, so I went home and took a photo of my house and my bike.
I smoke 'cause it gives me knowledge.
My brother's suite lives next to me and he has a basketball court in his yard, so I took a photo of it just to remember the good old memories of us playing. I went to the airport to fly some airplanes, but they wouldn't let me in, so I had to find another way to get in. It was pretty easy. Okay, I have to admit that they were right when they wouldn't let me in. After I got out of the hospital, I immediately went back shooting and noticed this lady walking on the sidewalk on this bridge, but it was kinda difficult to get the perfect shot, but I think it turned out pretty well. It was nighttime again and I parked my car in an unusual way. I looked around and saw the moon shining bright and this tall building and decided to take a picture with my car in it. So I composed the photo and this is it. I think it's an unusual composition. I wanted to take a photo of the 10 green bottles bar neon signs, but some gang members started shooting me, so I had to give it up and save my life. During daytime in the downtown there are people sitting around and I wanted to take a photo of them, but as I was composing, this guy walked in front of me. Photography is about waiting for the perfect, decisive moment, so I waited around and then suddenly people just started running towards me for no reason. I think this makes a great photo. I like the dynamics and the overall composition. I saw this police officer guarding a parking lot staring in the distance and I took a portrait of him. Little did I know before, I could climb palm trees with ease. From this rooftop there is a perfect view of the pier, so I took a photo. I'm not that good at riding bikes, so I fell off it, but the parking was perfect. I'm not quite satisfied with this picture because there's a person walking into the frame and it's not perfectly centered. I went to visit my girlfriend again and this is what happened.
You dumped. It's over.
So I went to the gym instead, my favorite place in the universe. As I walked in, I saw this coach who is really experienced and is always at the gym, and decided to take a photo of him, waited for the perfect moment, and I think it turned out pretty well. The American flag in the background, the dynamics as he is about to punch, I really like this photo. Then I wanted to get some real action photograph of these two guys boxing, but I went too close apparently because they started punching me instead, but it was worth it as I got this really nice picture as they are so synchronized. The sun started to set and I was driving around in this industrial district and parked my car, and it really made a good atmosphere with these orange tones and the feeling is just there. I was driving back home through Idlewood and this is what happened. I was witnessing a drive-by, so I decided to take a photo, and unfortunately the bolla went back into the car, but still the lampposts and the two cars make up for a good photo. Sometimes you have to act like that you just caught the perfect moment and took the perfect photograph, but you know it's not true. You composed the whole shot entirely. When out for a photo walk, you can get into this weird sliding motion, which is, I don't know how it works. The famous Vinewood sign is really iconic, so I decided to take a photo of it, but from the behind with the city skyline in the background. With only one frame left in my camera, I decided to go up to the observatory and took this photograph. I don't know how it turned out to be a drone shot of me and the tourist, but I think for the last picture it's pretty cool. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching it, and like if you liked it, and subscribe for more because I want to make this into a series. Stay at home if you can and shoot away in San Andreas. Bye.